Hello, I'm Jack Fitzpatrick and this is one of my blog posts. Today I'm going to be telling you about my progression goals, research and CV, professional reflection and further choices, that kind of stuff. So I started out, we had to pick two different things that we were going to research between like our further careers and that kind of like which path we want to take. So the paths that I looked at were uni, and I also looked at apprenticeships. So I chose those two for my two. On my blog, I first started off with my uni, so I looked at Google Maps, I looked at the closest unis, and the ones I came up with were the USW, which is the closest one, is in Cardiff. We also have Cardiff Met, Swansea, Bristol, Falmouth, which is in Cornwall. So I looked at all of these. Different ones, like the courses they did, what they ran. I have evidence of looking at the different prices and the money and costs that you have to pay towards uni. So if I scroll down, I first looked at what you'd get out of the course at the end for the one in the USW, which is a BA Honours Computer Game Design. The year one, you'd study character performance, drawing, generally just making games, making digital games like on the computers, which we're doing here anyway, so I have a little bit of practice, which is good. Year two would be game assets, game engines, professional practice, experimental games, digital and visual culture, literature review. Year three then would be project prototypes, production, so going through and making your own little versions of the game, like full scale games that eventually you'd be able to sell off in groups and teams and that kind of stuff. Product promotion and professional portfolios, so creating like work and content to go in a portfolio to go to the next stage then from uni to a job or career, which I also looked at then as well in conjunction. So if I move on, the teachers, it tells us the different the teachers, how many teachers you probably have for each subject and that kind of stuff. It's talking about improving your skills, what they're going to go through with you, how you'd have help, that kind of stuff. I looked at the pricing of the course. So it's about 9,500 a year, and that's not with looking at like living arrangements. That's just the course. So over 3 years, 20 something thousand, 29,000 I think. And then on top of that, you have additional costs for like kit, uniform if you need it, or for us it'd be software subscriptions per year. That would be to 200 to 300 pound. Art materials and additional materials would cost between 100 and 150. PCs, laptops, like equipment would cost from somewhere between 1,500 to 2,000. Uniform would cost, or grade showed materials like evidence of your work would be 50 to 100 around about. Field trips, visiting like museums or going to places like companies and looking at studios, that kind of thing, would be around about 180 to 250 pounds. The like printing and copies and stuff like that would come to about £100 a year. Then your entry requirements, like based off your GCSEs and what you get in the course here for college, would depend on which course you're doing. So you have type A level, which would mean you'd have to do A levels and pass your A levels at quite a high standard. Typical BTEC offer, which is probably what I do, or typical IB offer, or typical assess to HE offer. I'd be the BTEC one because this is a BTEC course and we'd be moving on to a BTEC honours in the uni. So I looked at that kind of stuff. I think the main one I was going to look at, like uni, I was going to look at was Falmouth, because they had the best social area and town was quiet, that kind of thing. It wasn't too far away that I couldn't come home, and it was far enough away that I wasn't too close to home. So I liked that about researching the unis that I wanted to go to. They had the best course, like the best thing that suited me, because I looked at the courses and they allowed you to go in a group of 7 people, and you each have a different role, and you guys choose your roles and you stick to that. But then if you want to try something else, you can move on to that but still be in the same course. So I'm enjoying looking at my uni courses. And then next I looked at my apprenticeship pathway. So one of my friends' dads owns a gaming company, a small indie games company. It's called Pug Fugly. I was talking to him about it, and he was saying that I could help him out with a few of his projects on like art and stuff like that. I'm not a very big artist, I wouldn't say, or background artist. I'm more animation, 3D animation, and coding. But his actual job is coding for like Google and that kind of stuff. So he was teaching me C++, or helping me learn C++, and he was teaching me Python and JavaScript. I'm not fluent in any of them at the moment, but looking at it. I've also looked at other apprenticeships around Cardiff. There's loads of them. So I like went through the different emails and stuff like that, and my parents said to message them, maybe get a part-time job, that kind of stuff, to look what the industry's like, maybe get a bit of experience before I go uni, or if I get an apprenticeship, that kind of thing. The pay for an apprenticeship is minimum is like $3.70 an hour, I believe. This applies to anyone under 19, I believe. I think if you're above 19, you get a little bit more. But you have to get paid at least $3.70, like if you're under 19. Then for the courses and my apprenticeships, I looked up my skills audit. I went through all that, and we're seeing which skills that I probably need to improve. So the ones that I do need to improve on, I've been looking at are written communication, because I find written communication really hard. I'm not very good at it. I didn't pass English. Then it was life learning skills, I think the other one says. And I also find that I get distracted quite easily. So my teachers and my parents said to work on these skills before I either go to uni or college. So I looked at which ones would help me the most out of, like, which pathway would help me the most to get better at all my other skills, like work up a level on my other skills, but also help me with the things I'm struggling with. I feel like if I go to an apprenticeship, I'm going to be kind of like left on my own to my own devices, and I'd get distracted quite easily. Whereas in uni, I'd be covered by teachers, and they'd be talking me through it, helping me, like making sure I'm on task. So I think that uni's my chosen path to go to. I still may not go to uni, but that is the one I have chosen. Then I've gone on to write my personal statement by here, applied all through that, and I've also got my CV. Thank you for watching.